Hello there, everybody, and welcome to the stream. You know how it goes. I'm here with me main man, Mark, down there. You can see him, right? Yeah, there he is.
Hey, how you doing,
Welcome.
everybody?
Yes. His name's Mark. His channel's Centroid. That's linked down below. Um, yes, in the stream description. I'm overwhelmed. There's so many people here already. It's amazing.
No,
I
it's
hope everyone's
fantastic.
doing well, especially during the lockdown in most places. I'm having a whale of a time. It's just like endless computer games and YouTube and Scrabble, and I'm loving it. I really am. Mark, how are you holding up, mate?
Oh, I've been a shut-in most of my life, and now that I'm told I have to be, and now I don't want to be.
Yeah. No, I don't wanna.
I don't want to do it now because I have to. No, but
Oh,
it's all
blooming
good.
heck. So,
I think I've been spending too much time with you on this damn computer, to be honest with you.
yes, we have
Or,
been doing quite a lot of online gaming lately.
yes, we have, yes,
Yes.
we have. But that's all good. It's all good. It's fun.
Yes. So I've been interacting with everybody in the chat already. Thank you all for joining us so early tonight. I think the first chat comments started coming at about just before 20 to 10. Like
Yes, that
Eagle
would
and
be.
Lucas, and
Yeah.
then from nowhere, I'm on the chat. You know what I mean? I'm like, blooming heck, everyone, like, like in my
Trying to
element,
set
just
it up
clicking
and
away.
everything, and you're responding.
Yeah, awesome stuff. So thank you for joining us. You know the routine tonight. It's drone news. I'd say we're a little bit thin on the ground with drone news.
People
For
aren't
obvious
flying.
reasons,
Yeah.
but we can general chat anyway as well. This isn't a support stream at all, but we do encourage you to check other people's channels. Now I know YouTube has removed that little button to like go to people's channels, but just search the channels and hope for the best, because even when you search a channel, you won't necessarily find it, which is very disappointing. YouTube, you should be ashamed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You really should bring that button back. Honestly,
Yes. Yes.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
It was hurting nobody, that button. That's it. So
And before we get started, Steve, I just want to say thank you to everybody else in the chat that has been showing up on Saturdays to see our live stream, our showcase. So thank you very much, folks, for supporting that show as well. We really, really appreciate it. We've been having a lot of fun doing that, and we'll talk more about that later.
yes. Now you know what, Mark. This Saturday, now that you brought it up, this Saturday we have another awesome guest on
I know
Saturday
we
night.
do.
I'll plug this now while there's people watching. Right?
Yeah.
On Saturday on Mark's channel, 5 p.m. Eastern time, 10 p.m. UK time. We have an awesome guest, Drone UK. He's been in the chat before in here. We've spoke to him on a Skype call. This Saturday we've got an interview with Drone UK about his channel, drones, and channels that he likes. You know the format by now if you've
Yes.
watched Mark's stream on Saturday night. I'm on there cross questioning on thinking. We play some of his videos and we talk and laugh and talk of the good times with the drones when there was no regulations, right?
Yeah.
Or when there
and
was,
all,
but there wasn't like self-proclaimed drone police or anything like that.
yeah.
So that should be awesome. And the week after, I don't think we're going to announce it just yet, but
No, no.
we have
Oh, we're
another
excited
awesome
about
guest.
that one.
We have another awesome guest
Oh,
already
it's
lined up for
fantastic.
the Saturday after as well. We've really done our homework, Mark, haven't we?
Steve, you've been doing your homework. I got to give you the credit for this.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
It
they've
is me.
made
It is me who
suggestions,
gets
but
the talent, to be fair.
oh
but-
yes. To be fair, Steve's been getting the talent, so I got to give props to him.
Yeah.
And although this is a drone channel, this is what it doesn't have to be just about that. The last couple of weeks, it hasn't been that. It's nice to bring different genres together, drones, filmmaking, and all that kind of stuff. But this week we are going to be kind of featuring drones, which is nice, and it's nice
Yes.
to get back to our roots. So.
Would you believe it? We're going to do an interview with a drone channel. Exclusively drones. Yeah.
Eagle's asking when I'm going to get Roger on. That should be interesting.
Yeah.
That should be interesting. I'll talk to him about it. We have a couple of them, but to be fair, I'm going to be honest with you. It is a lot of work to pick the right channels that we find that you folks would enjoy as well, that we enjoy as well. And it's actually we were getting a little worried there for this week's guest because we weren't sure. So
there was things nipping a little bit about Saturday. Yeah,
And
but
it's
I've come
we're
through
working at it.
with
Yes,
a good guest.
2 weeks worth so far.
2 weeks
So
of awesome guests.
that gives
So
us time to work on the third week now.
you know,
Listen, so
round of applause in the chat. You know,
yes, yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. Okay,
So
so I'm going to do a roll call in the chat because it's been a while since we've done that, and you know, I like to give people who join us a bit of recognition. So Eagle VP, that's Keith. If it wasn't for him, my channel wouldn't be where it is now. He introduced me to everybody. Blah blah blah. You've probably heard it all before about Keith. He's lovely. I do jip him a fair bit as well, but he is awesome. So hello Eagle. Centroid in the chat. You know, check him out. His channel's linked down below. Gimmicks in the chat is called Lucas. Has been a guest on the show before for the
yes, hey
tinfoil
Lucas.
hat live streams and the support
Yes.
streams before, I believe. He's a real awesome lad from the Czech Republic. You know, thank you for joining us, mate. He does videos and that as well. There we go. I'm just reading through the chat. I've got the entire chat right here. I'm so organised at the minute, just because I've got so much time on my hands. You know, Shrimp Shack. You know, thank you for joining us. Like I say, you got a blue wrench there in the chat. Tavi Smith with a smiley face. Nearly said Filey Smaze. I don't know what that is. You know, Dennis Lovelady there. Hello. Nemi2K, that's our good friend from Germany called Amy, and he's been teaching me German, and we play Red Dead Online together. Awesome dude. So I'll catch up with you real soon, mate. In the Discord, of course. I'm always lurking round there. Just tag me, and I'll come running. Karel Barassa, hello there. Says hello, Steve. I'm good, Steve. Back and forth in the chat. You know, all is well here. Hen Karen has made a visit. You know, that is the hen, and I will switch. We haven't featured the hen for a bit, but the hen is there. It's my favourite Cajun flavoured friend. That's the hen. Right
That's
there,
it. Get
you
her,
know.
get her pissed off again, Steve.
Yeah, I know. There we go. I'm just scrolling through the chat here. Vanessa Kitty, hello there. Dennis Lovelady, just going through there. There's also Gary. That's Brant Ariels, who was a previous guest on Mike's stream. Awesome dude. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Darwin Digital as well. Oh my goodness, look, there's a great variety of channels in tonight. Great people. We're loving it, aren't we, Mark?
Yes, we are.
We're
Yes,
just loving
it's
life.
fantastic. Yeah, and I
Loving
mean, we
life.
have a nice mix of people in here too. You know, different types of, like I said, genres. It's really nice to see people come in here and enjoy, yeah, the activity that we enjoy. And you know, who knows? Maybe they'll get into drones too, if the FAA will let them.
Yeah, the FAA is a bit funny, aren't they, these days?
Oh boy.
They're kind of like, yeah, have fun flying your drones, but you got to do it under these conditions. Right? You can't fly here, you can't fly there, you can't fly like this, and you can't fly like that. And if you do, you're clueless, careless, and criminal. Yes, from previous stories. Yeah, so if you've watched previous news stories, you might have got a chuckle out of that, but never mind. Yeah. Dennis Lovelady says, great people as opposed to last time when I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Oh, Dennis Lovelady, don't put yourself down, mate.
No, he's actually saying.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I think
Depends on how
the
you take that
joke
one.
being that last time there was... oh, yeah, I see. It's the other way round. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I haven't
no.
socialised much lately. You can tell.
Yeah. If there's one thing about Dennis that I really appreciate is it's his modesty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very Now, Dennis, you're a great guy and quite a singer and an entertainer. If you haven't caught his live streams on Sundays for the sunrise streams, he usually treats everybody to a song.
Yes, I've seen them before.
And he's been singing, and he's 3D printed a ukulele, if I'm not mistaken, also. So interesting stuff he's got going on.
Oh, nice. I do love a good ukulele.
Oh, I love it. Underrated. It's a very underrated instrument. I'll be honest with you.
I actually bought myself a Yamaha GL1 guitar
Really?
lately. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Have you ever heard of a guitar lately?
It's kind of a hybrid in between, if I'm not
It's
mistaken.
just a little bit bigger than a ukulele,
Yes.
but the string, it's got 6 strings instead of 4, and it tunes exactly the same as a guitar capoed on 5. So you can play
really?
you can play all your ukulele chords on it, which sound exactly the same on the top 4 strings, but then you can play all guitar chords as well.
But does it sound like a guitar, but at a higher pitch though?
It sounds like a ukulele.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But with
Nice.
guitar chords. And the good thing is, if you like finger picking, usually on a guitar you can only put like a capo, which is like a clamp for your
Yeah,
strings,
yeah.
to make the strings higher pitch. You can only usually get it on about 7 maximum before like the neck of the guitar's too fat. On the guitar Lely, you can put it on about 7, but then
Nice.
obviously you're actually sort of capoed on about 12 relative to a normal guitar. So if
Yeah.
you're finger picking, you can finger pick and it sounds like a music box. It's a really,
Uh-huh.
really, with like a tropical twang. It's a really, really good
Nice.
sound.
Now, do you call it a guitar lily?
Yeah, I'll put the name of it in the chat. It's
Yeah.
a
Well, there you go, folks. You've learned something. I've learned something new tonight about a guitar lily. I just assumed it was a hybrid of some
yeah,
sort.
that's the name of the guitar. Yamaha make 'em. Yeah, it's awesome. Honestly, it was only about £80 as well. Really,
Oh,
really
nice.
good. Yes. Okay, that's enough. How are we going to get on to some drone stories? I'm having too
Well,
much fun. You know,
Well,
but-
again, we're trying to soften the blow in case we didn't have enough stories to include some general chat. So you've already filled a little time with that, but we do. I think we're going to sprinkle these drone news in, like we talked about before. We do have some stuff for you. folks,
I
so.
think we've got enough to go the hour, and I'm happy
Yeah,
to go a little
easily.
bit. I'm happy to go a little bit over, 10, 15 minutes over as well.
Yeah.
Don't bother
Hey,
me.
Blizzard.
I've got plenty of time.
Blizzard FPV's in the house. He definitely should get a wrench.
Yes,
if you can
Blizzard
give him one.
FPV.
Blizzard,
Hello
nice
there.
to see you, man.
Hello.
Thanks for coming
Oh,
in.
Hello. That's always a good indication when you give all the people you trust a blue wrench. Then when someone new comes in, it's like, oh, welcome. It's the first time you've joined us.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like
it's-
easy to keep track of everybody who comes in.
Right.
Yeah. So welcome to the stream, buddy. We're just talking about ukuleles and guitar lelas apparently on a drone news stream. We're going downhill, Mark. We're going to have
That's
to do
okay.
something about this, aren't we?
We'll start pedaling up soon.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I'll switch over to my first story then because it's a
Okay.
fairly big one. So I'll switch over, and that is from Drone DJ. So let me copy the link and put that into the chat. There we go. Nearly switched into my posh, sultry voice there. So earlier today, DJI released a video onto its social media accounts with the title "Up Your Game," with April 27th being the date of the event. The event is likely to be the launch of the Mavic Air 2, which can be seen in the teaser video. The DJI Mavic Air has been leaked for the last month or so with images of the drone and what looks to be a new controller, and then with confirmation from the FCC. Both a Mavic Air 2 and new controller made it through FCC's test bench, confirming the new drone is coming soon. So today, DJI shared a short video of what looks to be a new drone, likely hinting that the Mavic Air 2 will be showed off to the public on the 27th of April, and I'm assuming that's this year, hopefully. So from the video, we can see the shape of the top of the drone, with it being more rounded and well-finished shape compared to various previous DJI drones, such as the original Mavic Pro. Oh, I like the original Mavic Pro. We're also able to see new battery level indicator lights in a diamond pattern rather than the usual vertical line. The design doesn't look to be very similar to the previous leaks, although it could just be due to the angle of the video, or maybe another new product will be launched alongside it. So there we go. We already know the Mavic Air 2 will have a bigger battery of a size of 3,500 milliamp hours compared to the original Mavic Air's 2,375. Hopefully giving it a flight time closer to the 30-minute mark. The Mavic Air 2 won't include any upward facing obstacle sensors, meaning the Mavic Air line will be continue to be consumer grade drones, leaving the Mavic 2 and Mavic 3 series the go-to if you're looking for all the features. Yes, so I'm just going to leave that there. I'm not going to play that video either because you can play all that yourself. That looks like an embedded YouTube video and I'm not taking any risks. So I'm going to paste that again in the chat right there. And also say hello to Volleytronics, who's just joined us. Hello there. Yeah, Blizzard FPV says only sub 250 gram builds. Fair enough. Yes, obviously that's FPV style. I don't fly any FPV whatsoever, so I'm always excited for a new camera drone, but I'm not going to be switching from the Mavic Pro for quite some time. I still love the original Mavic Pro. If I had the money, I'd go for the Mavic Pro 2, of course, but it's a bit of a stretch. They are a bit on the pricey side. So what's your thoughts on this Mavic Air 2 then, Mark?
Well, number one, it gets a little confusing. They got to find a different way to name these things because you got your Mavic Air 2 now, you got your Mavic 2 Pro and Mavic 2 Zoom. Got too many Mavic 2s going on here. But I don't know. I didn't get a good look at it, but I'm suspecting that basically they just took the Mavic 2 that they have, the fuselage, the hull, if you will, of it, and just made it bigger so it could accommodate the bigger battery. Because I don't know if people know this, the Mavic Air battery and the Mavic 2 battery are different because of the lifespan. They're a little bit bigger on the Mavic 2 Zoom that I have. So I'm thinking that basically what they're doing is they're creating, and it'll be a little heavier, so it'll be essentially the Mavic 2 Zoom or the Mavic 2 Pro. But it'll be, they're going to call it the Mavic Air, but it just won't have the Zoom or the Hasselblad camera on it, and they'll have the same battery. I'm wondering if the batteries will be able to interchange between the two models. If
Probably
it does,
not.
then, well,
DJI don't have a good track record with that.
well, I mean, this is the first time. Was there any other Mavic before the Mavic 2 Zoom and Mavic 2 Pro? Were there any other Mavics that went along? You had the Mavic Air. And was there any other Mavics besides that one?
Mavic Mini.
Oh, then, well, it's a different size, obviously. So I don't know. I'd be curious to see what they're going to do, what it's going to do. Okay, Dennis says, I'm not into the rumor game, but I doubt it will be a Mavic Air 2. I think it will be a Mavic 2 Air fitting in with the other model names, similar to Phantom Series.
That's not a bad theory, to be fair. Oh. But the naming of it, of course,
it's confusing.
Yeah. But I've seen the Mavic Air in action, and I always thought it was basically like the half step in between the Spark and the Mavic Pro. It's sort of like right in between when it comes to camera quality, battery life, size.
Price, so there is a Mavic.
Know.
There is a Mavic Pro, and those two batteries are not interchangeable between a Mavic and a Mavic Pro, correct?
No batteries are interchangeable now.
Okay.
Unless you're talking like about the Mavic Pro and the Mavic Pro Platinum, but
no,
it's the same model. Well, it's just upgraded motors. That's it.
Same. Well, the Mavic 2. I'm already getting confused with the Mavic 2 Pro and the Mavic 2 Zoom.
Yeah.
You can interchange those
batteries. Dennis Lovelady said it there. Look, Mavic Mini followed Mavic 2 series. There was Mavic Pro, then the Spark, the Mavic Air, then the Mavic 2 Zoom and Pro, then the Mavic Mini. Now there's going to be the Mavic Air 2.
They just got to come up with different names.
It's getting more confusing than the Metal Gear Solid storyline. If you've ever played them games, there was Metal Gear 1, released in the 80s, which was set in the 60s. Then there was Metal Gear 2, which was released in the 80s and set in the 60s. Then there was Metal Gear Solid, which was released in the 90s and set in the 90s. Then there was Metal Gear Solid 2, which was released in the early 2000s and set in the slightly distant future, like 1 year in the future. Then there was Metal Gear Solid 3, which was released and it was set in the 70s. Then there was Metal Gear Solid 4, which was set about 10 years in the future, so about 2030, something like that. Then they released Metal Gear Solid 5, and that was set in between Metal Gear 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3. It's all really confusing.
Well, apparently you have it all set in order.
Yes. I played them all. Yeah.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
A computer game nerd. Yeah. So there we go. Dennis Lovelady says he may have misremembered the order of the Spark of the Air. There was about the same time, wasn't there, a couple of years ago. Volleytronic says, I've been under a rock, whatever happened to the FAA and anything RC aerial. Mark will tell you all about the FAA.
That's almost as bad as you bringing up the G word.
Yes.
As far as I know, they're still on track with the regulations.
Me and Mark can get triggered by certain keywords, and one of them for Mark is remote ID. And for me, it's Gatwick. We've both got our triggers. Yeah, so please don't mention any of that in the chat because we'll go on a 10-minute rant each. Right?
Oh, they're still hanging
over
around
each other if necessary.
Yeah.
just ranting at the camera.
I mean, I'm making up a conspiracy right now. This is not true, but it makes you wonder if the FAA created the situation we're in now to drive all the droners inside so they don't fly drones and they forget about their hobby.
Oh, Paul, hello there.
Hey, Paul, what's up, man?
PMDB Videos has entered the chat. Hello, welcome, buddy. I hope you're doing well.
I like how he addresses you by your channel name and he calls me Mark.
Yeah. Fully spells it out. Hello there, Aerial Views and Histories UK and Matt. Yeah. So I am quite interested to see what this is. I'm sure it's going to be the Mavic Air 2 or the Mavic 2 Air, however you want to pronounce it. But that's all good. Before we move on to your next story, Mike, my story continues on with this next one. If I'm all right, just to jump over, I did mention this just before the before we began the stream. There we go. Dennis Lovelady says, Brant Ariel says it would be OcuSync 2.0. Oh, okay. Dennis Lovelady said, yes, it's a planned worldwide shelter in place engineered by UPS and Amazon Centroid. Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So this next story then is from cnet.com. So let me put that link in the chat there and paste that in. And obviously this follows on with the suspected announcement of the Mavic 2 Air, the Mavic Air 2, whichever one it's going to be. And that is save $200 on the Mavic Air drone. So that link right there, if you was interested in getting the Mavic Air, it's a very, very good bit of kit to this day. It still is a very good drone. And obviously, I'm not going to talk about this too much. It's only like a little article there. I'll paraphrase it a little bit. Drone popularity has surged in recent weeks, blah, 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 blah. There are also plenty of toy drones you can get for $100. You don't want any of that crap. Unless you want to get into it. I'd recommend going straight for a Mavic Mini or a Spark if you're going to start off, to be fair. B&H Photo has the Mavic Air for $599. That's $200 off the regular price and a very rare discount. The Air is sold out just about everywhere else as well, including the proper DJI site. So there we go. I'll relink that in the chat because the chat's moving very quick tonight. I'm doing my best to keep up with it, and I will read some comments in a second. But if you're interested in getting the original Mavic Air, that was the perfect way to link that in right there. Okay, so there we go. There we go. PMDB says Eagle VP must feel strange and frustrated being a Liverpool fan. Yeah, I'm not a big follower of football. You talk about football in the chat. That's all good with me. You know, thank you for being here. That's all that matters. Darwin Digital says OcuSync is a must. Wi-Fi is no good. Yes, OcuSync is amazing.
Yes, it is.
The phone I fly with is just an iPhone 5S. Cheapest phone you can fly with a Mavic, and it works perfectly. £80 second hand. That's all you need. It's perfect size screen. Not very bright on a sunny day, but you just sort of put a little like visor over it, and it's fine. There we go. I'm just reading through there. Brant Ariel says, great, the price of my gently used Mavic Air just went down $200. Yeah, that's the downside, mate. And the thing is, with drones, because DJI release one seemingly every sort of 6 months, drones just don't hold the value anymore. Or they never really did, to be fair. So if you're going to get a drone, you're better off trying to get one at a discount. Or if you want to get into drones, don't buy the newest model straight away. Because within a year, it won't be worth half of what you paid for it, basically. And then obviously you've got if you was to try and sell it, you've got to try and discount it for the fact it's pre-owned as well. So you'll only get about a quarter of what you originally paid. So if you want to get into droning, probably the best bang for your buck you can get at the minute would be the original Mavic Air or the Spark or even the Mavic Mini. Mm-hmm. But I can't recommend the Mavic Mini because I've never even seen one. So
and that does fly Wi-Fi. It's not OcuSync.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So probably best with a Spark, to be fair. But that's just my own opinion. So don't take that as gospel. That's just my opinion. There we go. So Yeah, nicely put, Brant Aerials, gently used, says Volleytronics. Yes, yes, indeed. PMDB says, if I'm online and see you live, I just have to visit. Be rude not to. Oh, thank you. Diamond Digital says, the Mini's great, but being Wi-Fi is disappointing not to have the confidence I had with the Mavic. Yes, indeed, the Mavic is amazing.
Dude,
I love
the chat is flying today. Folks.
I know, I can't keep up with this chat. Honestly, keep it coming.
Yeah. That's nice. We love to see this activity. Nice to see it.
Blizzard FPV says FPV rig will run you 600 easy. Am I right in thinking, Matt, that if you wanted to get into FPV, basically you would spend about 600 like US dollars, but that'd include like your goggles and all that lot.
Yeah, I would say an entry level would be that, and that probably would not include like a GoPro high definition camera on it. You know, if you're going to buy a drone or make one, about $300. Then of course you got your receiver and your headsets, but of course you can go way crazy like I did getting into it and go a little further. It all depends on the level or grade of radio and head and goggles that you buy. But yeah, I'd say 600 is about right.
Yeah. But then obviously once you've got your goggles, buying more in your remote than actually buying like or making new frames, like new FPV frames, just gets like cheaper as you go down the line as you start to accrue parts. Am I right?
Well, that's the problem is, you're going to spend $600, but then there's learning how to fly one. And let's face it, it's even in stability mode. It's not like flying a Mavic Air or Mavic Mini or anything like that. Unless you have GPS installed on it, you've got to maintain complete control, and you will start to spend money on repairs. That's for sure. So,
yes,
just be ready for it.
I have to type so fast, fast at the minute. I love it. It's awesome. Look who's coming to the chat. It's my young apprentice, FSV.
Hey, what's up,
yes.
FSV?
Finley, how's it going, buddy? Long time no see. Obviously, I can't see you at the minute, but that's all good. But I hope you're doing well, mate. I know you've been doing like live streams on Instagram and all that lot lately. Bit cringy, but good. Right? Yeah. Oh dear, I'm ruthless tonight. Oh, yeah. One watching just went down, so that's FSV leaving. Right. Yeah. Hey, Shrimp Shack. Yeah, that's the keyboard I use. It's a really nice gaming keyboard with like mechanical-ish keys. I'm not going to press out because obviously it'll do stuff to the computer, but it's very, very nice with all different lights and it does magical things. This keyboard, it's really, really nice. So if you wear like quite heavy keys, it's because they're really springy. For gaming. It's a gaming keyboard. Yeah, very nice. Yeah,
well,
I got it hugely discounted as well. Not stolen. It was a legit purchase, but it was down from like £70 down to like £25.
Well, I learned keyboard. I learned keyboard when it was called typing, and I used to use a real mechanical typewriter where you had to press hard. So to this day, I get complaints from everybody around me saying, "Why do you hit the key so hard?"
Yeah, and I used to have one of them like ink ribbon keyboards when I was a kid. So I learned how to type properly on a keyboard from a young age. So it's all good. Dennis Lovelady says I still use the Northgate keyboards.
I love those keyboards.
IBM sold with the original IBM PC.
They had a nice click to them, if I remember correctly, Dennis, didn't they? If they're the ones I'm thinking of. I love the ones that make sound. I don't like the soft keys.
I don't know why. I might be too young for that. Right.
Yes, you are, Steve.
Okay. Right, Mark, on to your story then. Let's have it.
Sure. This one's a very lighthearted one. But again, we were talking about how drone news could be a little light this week. But this one is this was April 13th, 2020. And I will put the link in the chat. Almost forgot. Not that I'm going to be able, it's a very quick one. So you may not have to go look at it, but I'll paste it just in case for future reference. There you go. So basically, drone was unexpected find in local woman's backyard. Talk about big news.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the only reason why I picked this is because, there's always the concern about people and spying and all this, and this caught my eye. I'm like, oh, what is she thinking? Somebody spying on her or whatever. Well, in a way, it says a woman was out gardening earlier this month when she found something unexpected in her backyard. It was a drone. Mary Darling Jr. of Crawford Street said she was perplexed to find the small plastic vehicle in a patch of grass on April 3rd. When I turned, I saw it because it was kind of buried in all of that, she said, gesturing at an area under the trees where the drone was standing. I thought it was kind of weird. The drone is made of black plastic, has 4 rotors and a camera attached to the underbody, as well as the ProMark brand logo. I guess that's the name of the drone. The company sells several models of consumer drones. The vehicle in Darling's backyard was missing a leg and had other damage. Darling said she unplugged the camera and took the drone to her attic. Now she's hoping the owner comes back to collect it. Please take it back, she said, and do better on your directional guidance because I don't know why it's in here. And that's it. But, I thought it was going to go further into her complaining about drones and their spying. But, I mean, it could have been easily a model airplane or anything, or even a football for crying out loud. The kid's lost ball, So I was just happy to see that they didn't make a bigger deal of this. And it was just a kind of an anecdotal story that I figured I'd pick and discuss. And I think there's no harm done in this particular article, but it just goes to show you drone news is very thin right now. This is what we have.
Yeah, we are scraping the bottom of the barrel tonight. Yeah.
So if anybody here, put it in the chat. Have you found a stray drone in your backyard lately? If it's an Inspire, it's mine.
Yeah.
And
also, I've just had a comment come up on Facebook from PMDB. Is like, oh, great stream, by the way. Which is also a great way to introduce and whatever my Facebook page.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aerial Views and Histories UK. So if you're on Facebook, just look up AV UK, just spelt like that, and it's like AV UK hyphen Aerial Views and Histories. You can message me direct on there, ask questions. I'm always speaking to people on there, asking questions, just seeing how they are, if you want to chat, anything like that. I know lockdown's boring as all heck. I nearly swore then for some reason. Yeah. No, feel free to message me and we'll have a chat. I like stuff like that, so that's all good. Just search AV UK, just like that in the chat.
I'm not going to give up on this story yet, Steve, because I think I have another conspiracy here.
Go on.
I think the FAA is collecting a bunch of broken drones from the garbage and sprinkling them in backyards to try to get people to not like them.
Possibly.
Could you imagine if they stooped that low?
Yeah. Well, just
maybe not the FAA. It might be Amazon. Amazon probably has a ton of these things returned to them. They're like, hey, we got it. We're going to take these drones and we're going to smash them up and throw them in people's backyards and get them mad at the hobbyists.
Yeah. Oh dear.
I know it's not true, but I'm just having fun with it, folks. But just imagine if they did stoop to that level. They could do it. They have them. They have the ways.
They have the means. And
yes,
they have the
do.
motive. The FAA wants drones gone. Believe.
Amazon wants the sky.
Believe this. Yeah. I don't know what that was. Who knows? Dennis Lovelady says, sorry, I'm suffering from severe network problems and they're preoccupying my life. I'm a networking go-to guy, not like me to be in this position. Oh, sorry, mate.
Sorry,
I thought I'd read your comment there, you know what I mean?
Sorry about that, Dennis.
Yeah, that's all good. Feel free to message me on Facebook. It's all good. Yeah, we'll have a chat. Yes. So, I do think that was a legit crash drone, to be fair.
Yeah, it is. That's all it is. It is.
But it would be so easy to plant drones in people's gardens, wouldn't it? Just drive round with a pickup and like a guy stood on the back of the pickup, and then as soon as you see someone's garden, you just throw one in. And then on local news, it'd be like, oh, it's just like loads of drones appearing in people's gardens that have come crashing out the sky. There's an epidemic. Oh dear.
I
Yeah.
mean, I have images of back in the day when I actually used to deliver newspapers, if you can imagine that, if anybody even knows what a newspaper is anymore. And I used to, used to have them rolled up and you'd throw them onto the doorsteps, and I could just see people flinging drones, all sorts of drones.
Yeah.
So
Like the old game Paperboy.
yeah,
Where you had
exactly.
to ride along the street throwing newspapers. Like that,
Yes,
but just throwing out like derelict drones onto people's lawns.
yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know where this is going. Right. Are we done with that story, Mark? I'll
Oh,
switch on to one
we're
of
more than
mine.
done now. I got my FAA crap into it, so we're good.
Okay, yes. You've managed to diss the FAA. That's
Every
your...
chance I get.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like... Oh dear, I'm full of beans tonight. I'm
If
resting
I,
well.
and I'm not allowed to curse, otherwise I would be cursing right now. So
Yes. Yes. When we're not on stream, Mark swears a lot, and so do I. I've admitted it. Yeah. And I have to really fight the urge sometimes to swear. I almost swear and then I go into like streaming mode and I don't. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, so right, I'll switch over to my share, whatever it's called, my window. There we go. I'll paste the link in there. This is another one from Drone DJ. So they're getting hammered this stream. So please click on the links, so they get the clicks and all that lot. This is 2 people detained after delivering tobacco via drone in India. Now, I found this one really interesting, and you'll find out why in a minute when I read the story. 2 men from Morbi, Gujarat, a state in India, have found themselves behind bars after one of the men uploaded a video to TikTok. Now, if you don't know what TikTok is, it's like this viral video platform. It's like YouTube, but you upload videos that are like 10 or 15 seconds long, basically, and it's popular with all the kids. So they're showing off a new way to transport mawa, a combination of tobacco and areca nut, said drone, via drone last Saturday, should I say. In a recent video posted online, a man was seen receiving 2 small packages dangling under a drone, which turned out to be tobacco, a tobacco product popular throughout India. The original TikTok video is no longer up but has been reposted. The 2 men behind the viral drone video, now I'm not even going to try and pronounce them names because I will butcher it, were held behind bars after the video took off on TikTok and eventually made its way into the hands of the Morbi City Police. The drone delivered the tobacco just 100 metres from Hiran, who happens to be a tobacco trader. Okay, so the crime that was arrested for wasn't actually flying the drone, which is required to have an ID number on it, but rather because they were transporting non-essential products during the coronavirus lockdown. Yes, so that's crazy, right? So the 2 men were able to post bail the next morning, but still have to face district court once the lockdown is lifted on May the 3rd. The Morbi City Police Department told the Times of India the following in relation to the arrest. We found that the video was shot in Neelkanth Society. During investigation, we ascertained the involvement of Gardharia and Badinia in the crime, following which we nabbed them. I'm not sure whether they've actually used the words "we nabbed them." That's more like what the British police would say. We just went up and we just nabbed them all. So it says on the thingy, like, what do you think about drone using to complete your own deliveries? Would you do something similar with friends? Let us know. Blah blah blah. So let us know in the chat. There we go. Platinum Gamer and Movies. Hello there. I hope you're well. There we go. Blue Wrench for you. Awesome. Thank you for joining us. So the most interesting twist in this story is, during the lockdown, obviously they've tried to deliver tobacco, right? Or they have delivered tobacco. And if they hadn't been posting it online, they wouldn't have been caught, for one, which is lessons to be learned there for everyone, I think. If you're going to be doing illegal drone activities, don't upload it online. But the only thing that was actually charged with was distributing non-essential products during the lockdown. So does that mean during the lockdown in India you can fly your drone but just don't deliver things with it?
Oh, we're twisting it now.
That seems to be the message that's put out.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah,
if you
it
read
does.
between
It
the
really
lines,
does.
if that's all they got charged for, then
Yeah.
then they didn't commit a crime with just flying the drone.
Yeah, because I thought India was very strict. I was told once that it's even illegal to fly a drone inside your house. That's how strict it was. But I could be wrong now that this story has come out. So maybe it's not as strict as we originally thought.
The story is, though, as it goes, obviously it's non-essential products. So say if they had eggs or milk, would that have been okay if someone needed them?
Yeah, I would consider them under the essential category, the staple list, sure.
Yeah, some flour and sugar, basic provisions.
A bottle of water.
Yeah, bottle of water. Your mate messages you, really thirsty, please send me some water via drone. You send it, and then you just explain to the police, well, he was gasping. He needed a drink.
Dehydrated.
So, that was it, I took the matter into my own hands, and used the technology that was available.
Exactly.
I don't know anymore. I just don't know. Right, so Brant Ariel says they seem to have maintained distancing, isn't that the point? Now that's the thing. For people who smoke, surely tobacco is essential.
Yeah.
Because it's an addiction.
Right.
You lose your mind if you're addicted to something, and then you can't have it. And if it's, especially if it's like a legal product, then what's the issue? Surely it is essential. Who knows? Yes.
Nicotine infused water. Nice.
Hello there. Hello. I'll pronounce your name as Luke. Is that right? Luke Corner Listen. New stream. What goes on in here? At the minute, we're doing the drone news roundup, worldwide drone news. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Bit general chat tonight, because as you can imagine, drone news is fairly thin on the ground, but we're carrying it fairly well, aren't we, Mark?
We're trying like hell.
Yes.
We're doing our best. We're doing our best.
Yeah. Blizzard FPV says nicotine infused water. Yes. Fair enough. I don't know. So yeah, that's an interesting story, and it seems to be a bit strange, doesn't it? That I don't know. Say for example, earlier on, I needed some tobacco. I went to the shop and I got some tobacco. Just tobacco. Is that an essential product? I think it is.
Yeah.
You use your own judgment, don't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you smoke, you need tobacco. It's one of them things. You can't just give up like that. It don't work like that. Especially if you're locked in your own house and you can't go out. You just have to sit there and sweat it out.
And you could take it one step further. If they really considered certain products to be non-essential, then they could try and suggest to outlaw selling any of these products, and all you could buy are the essentials, and they'd have to provide a list of what can be purchased. Now, they haven't done that as far as I know, but if it's legal to go into a store and buy tobacco, why wouldn't you consider that essential at this point? So
there we go. I'm gonna show myself up in a minute. I've just messaged Luke Corner Listen in the chat there. Put, oh nice, welcome to the stream, buddy. And because he said he's from Germany, I put willkommen. Yes, I do know. Ich spreche klein Deutsch. Yeah. And when I say klein, I mean not much at all. Right. Platinum Gamer Remover says, hello Brant Ariels, we have spoken before when I was Golden Retro. Yes, Platinum Gamer Removers used to be Golden Retro, and
that's right. And now I was wondering how I knew him, and that's
I've been
where
on
I
his
know
panel
him.
a couple of times. He's a really, really nice dude. Yeah, awesome.
Nice.
Yes. While everyone's still here, new to the channel, I will just remind you to click the link for Mark's channel. Every Saturday night, same time, 5 p.m. Eastern time, 10 p.m. UK time. We are now interviewing not a random guest, a very specifically picked and curated guest every Saturday night for interviews and things like that. Really, really good. And we've had a good laugh. This will be interview number 5, I think, Mark, won't it?
Yeah,
and them streams are going very well. Everyone's
Yes,
having a good
I'm
time.
very
so
happy.
please join
Thanks
us
again,
Saturday.
yes.
Click Mark's link and all that lot. Yes.
I was gonna add very thoroughly vetted guest. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So
There we go. Platinum Game Remover says, I was having some slight technical issues with processing StreamYard streams at the Mo Eagle VP. It's taken 15 hours or more and it's still not processed. So I might just, and I'm guessing is at the 200 character cap in the chat. Yes. Sometimes when you've finished live streaming, mate, sometimes it does take a long time for them to actually upload as like a normal video. Brant Ariel says, it's been interviewed, they're not fussy. Dude, come on. There we go. Yeah, no, your interview was awesome, mate. Every interview I've had so far has been awesome, great guests.
Gary, you didn't realize this. We did a thorough background check on you before we interviewed you. So
yeah. If you get a message saying, would you like to, would you like a slot on the interview streams on the Saturday night? Just be reassured, we've probably had a private investigator on you for like 3 weeks, digging up anything, anything and everything. Your phone's been tapped.
Hey, actually, that might be why Hen Karen hasn't been around. She's been too busy looking into the backgrounds of these characters we've been interviewing.
Detective Hen.
There you go.
Okay, Mike. Right, on to your next story then, mate. Let's have it.
So here we go. Here's the link, already ready to go.
Okay.
And it's flying car developers get a boost from the Air Force. As you all know, that the U.S. has banned the use of overseas, particularly Chinese drones, for any government work. This is an attempt of getting into the flying car market, so to speak. Through the visions laid out by the developers of the new electrical vertical lift aircraft have been fairly mundane so far. Air taxis, cargo delivery, and such. It was a matter of time before someone started sexing up those flying car fantasies. How soon before they appear in a Bond film? When will the military get its mitts on them? Though the first remains an open question, military interests came into clearer focus this week. The U.S. Air Force is part of this program to make sure that electric aviation does not go the way of small drones and migrate to China. Said it is seeking to work with developers to help jumpstart electric-powered vertical takeoff and landing technology for both commercial and military use. While the proposal doesn't come with any funding or direct R&D support, the Air Force is offering to assist the aircraft through the testing and certification necessary for eventual use by military and government buyers. Let's see here. This is the first initiative of the Agility Prime, launched in the fall to ensure that innovations in electric aviation originate in the U.S. What we don't want to have happen is the same thing that happened in the small drone migration to China, said Will Roper, the Air Force Assistant Secretary for Acquisition. The Pentagon didn't take a proactive stance on it, and now most of that supply chain has moved to China. If we had realized that commercial trend and had shown that the Pentagon is willing to pay a higher price point, we probably could have kept part of the market here and not have gone through the security issues we do now when someone wants to use foreign-made drone at some kind of Air Force or DoD event. DoD, I believe, is Department of Defense. Under the Innovation Capabilities opening released this week, essentially a solicitation for formal collaboration, the Air Force is offering its expertise in manufacturing strategies, such as knowing the techniques are best suited for different materials and ensuring the aircraft are fully tested and ready for certification. It also would help to make sure that they have proper safety systems and are vetted for potentially military applications. Of course, funding support isn't necessary because there's already plenty of commercial investment in the field, Diller said. So without going any more into the article, essentially the military wants to help the electric transport, vertical takeoff and landing, a drone type transportation market stay here in the U.S. and try to help companies get through the process of getting these things approved and not have to rely on buying them from overseas, which I think is fair. But there's always that ulterior motive. They want to see what people are coming up with because they want it too. So again, sorry, that's my thought on it. But again, this is it's not really drone. We're not talking about automated design where it's flying on its own or from a remote location. These are going to be piloted vehicles, kind of drone-ish, if you will. There's a picture of one there as depicted in the article, and the idea is that the military wants to help these companies in the U.S. stay in the U.S. and support the commerce, I guess, regarding this kind of stuff. So yes, it's loosely drone related. It comes from Wired, which is an online magazine. Again, like Steve said before, give them the courtesy, click on the link, read it. We just kind of give you the gist of the article. I don't want to just read it word for word for you. We just want your reaction to it and our reaction to it. And if you want a more thorough read, then feel free to click on the link and look at it yourself, or save it and bookmark it for a future read. And that's pretty much it. I mean, do you have anything like this going on in the UK? Do you have any companies that are trying to get into the market that you know of air transport via these type of vehicles?
Nope, nothing like that.
So if that's the case, you will have to buy foreign. And will you buy from us?
I don't know. The UK seems to be buying a lot of fighter planes from the US at the minute.
Well, then there you go. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. Four F-35s, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, that was the thing though, because the UK bought 4 F-35s, and then there was brought to this UK RAF base, and literally the only thing guarding these 4 F-35 jets worth hundreds of millions of pounds was literally a wooden picket fence. A picket fence. Can you believe that? Honestly, it was all in the UK newspapers. Since then, I think they've moved them to another base, I think, since then.
Yeah. Now, who do they buy their military drones from again? And are they still buying them?
Probably the US.
No, it's not the U.S. technology that caused it to crash. Was it pilot error? Did we determine that? Remember that story you did a while ago?
Oh, that one. Yeah, they was probably UK drones. Yeah.
And Platinum Gear says, I'm not, says, didn't recognize Mark as he's grown a beard since the last time I saw him. I've always had a beard, but it is getting a bit long. It is, I've had a beard down to here at one point. Wife won't let me grow it back. Well, she says she doesn't like it. I'll respect it for now.
Yeah. Well, have you lost the charger to the Clippers? That was my excuse for about 6 months.
No, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. There we go.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah,
Thank you
White
very
Rose
much.
says, I hope the UK and US take this time to focus on homemade produce.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's key to it anyway, really.
Right.
But the US and the UK are like closely allied anyway, so it's,
Yeah.
just my own observation. Not going to go into politics. I don't like that.
No, we don't do politics. We don't do politics.
This is not the stream for politics.
Nope.
Shrimp Shack asks, how many drones have you got? 1.5. I've got 1 working Mavic Pro and 1 broken Mavic Pro. That's my answer. How many drones have you got, Mike?
Oh boy. I have 2 photo drones, a Mavic 2 Zoom. I have the Typhoon H, and for FPV I have 4 or 5 inch quads, 2 Cinewhoops and 2 whoops, and a partridge in a pear tree. so count them up. I have more than I'd like to count, so I don't want to give a number.
Yeah. White Rose Adventures is almost starting a chant in the chat. Bring back the tinfoil hats. Yeah. Like banging fists on the table. Bring back the hats. Yeah.
To be fair, I've been thinking about a hat design anyway, Steve, just in case.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah.
we're working
At
on
some
it.
point, I will be doing a final send-off stream to the tinfoil hat.
Yes, and I'm sure there's going to be a juicy topic or two.
Yes. Conspiracies, strictly conspiracy theories, but I'm trying to avoid doing them at the minute until the majority of this is over, because I know that conspiracies is just going to go down the rabbit hole with what's going on at the minute, and it's still too much of a touchy subject, and I don't have enough information to fully formulate any sort of grand conspiracy, you know what I mean? There's not really that much going on, but I'm sure down the line information will come out regarding it, and I will discuss it, but at the minute no one really knows anything, so only speculation, and I don't like basing my knowledge on speculation, so There we go. I think that was well put, don't you, Mike?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. Platinum Game Remover says, yes, I remember Steve wearing the tinfoil hat on one of my live panels, Mark, which I think you missed that one.
Yeah, I did. I never got to be on this panel, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not hardcore, right? Okay.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. No, Mark was like, you was like religiously on them panels, weren't you? With like, yeah, I dare say the best hat designs.
You really had to force that one out, didn't you?
Yeah. With like,
I know that was
what did he bring to the table? Good hats. We'll go with that.
A different one each week, mind you.
It's like when you say a Wake reference. They can't put anything bad, only good. He's got a good hat. White Rose Adventures says, let's recruit an army of drones to take out them 5G towers. We can Cobbo the foil hats with the drone. No. Yeah, I don't think it's 5G. That's all I'm saying.
All the conspiracy about 5G, I get it now.
Yeah. Okay. So on to my story then, Mark.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously I've already been on that one. So this one is from futurism.com, and I'm gonna paraphrase a little bit because we're running short on time. I don't mind that. I'm happy to go over a bit, Mark, if you are.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay. So this one is, watch this mad lad pick up a Starbucks coffee using a drone. So the global pandemic is bringing out weird behaviour among coffee drinkers. Remember Jerry Saltz, a sexagenarian caffeine lover who went massively viral for hoarding takeaway coffees from a gas station and reheating them one by one? Well, a new vid put Saltz to shame, showing a coffee lover picking up his Starbucks order using a drone. YouTuber Dimitri Marian says he pulled the pick off with a mid-range DJI Mavic 2. He fixed a basket to the drone using a string, then flew it over to his neighbourhood Starbucks. He called in his order and asked if they could put his coffee in the basket. And as you can see in footage shot from the drone, a bemused barista obliged. In a separate video uploaded about 2 weeks ago, Marion pulled off a similar stunt with McDonald's coffee, and in the description chided viewers against bad drone behaviour. Please don't fly drones with bad intention, like drone spying or drone racing near people, he wrote. Yeah, that's like basically all it is. I didn't even need to paraphrase that, that's all good. But essentially, if that was done in India, would that be seen as essential?
In the US, coffee is essential. And Starbucks, people take their Starbucks very seriously.
Yeah.
I'm not a Starbucks fan, but I get it. I'm definitely a fan of coffee.
Yeah, that was just a quick one because I thought that was interesting. Obviously, with them guys arrested in India for delivering tobacco.
Yeah, we could have put those two.
That was non-essential.
Right.
But then a guy in the US getting his coffee picked up by drone is okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know. If it's different countries' laws and all that lot, of course. But surely, if there was a lockdown, you can still just go and get a coffee. Surely. Who knows?
Platinum Gamer Movie says, "Do you drink a lot of coffee in the U.S.?" Mark always wondered if you did. I'd say coffee is a very, very, very popular drink. I mean, I don't overdo it. I'll have 2 or 3 cups, two mostly every day. If I'm feeling into it, I'll have 3 cups. But I know my brother will drink literally 10 cups a day, and that man, if he did not have his caffeine, he gets migraine. So yeah, coffee is a staple here, I would say, in the States. I think it's what founded the Wild West, to be honest with you. It's what kept them going. So
is that how much Starbucks is in the US, Mark? About $6?
Oh, easily, depending on what drinks you get. If you want to get a regular, and I can't stand it because if all I have, I'm not a big fan of Starbucks because they get a bit, I don't know, a bit bougie with their names and whatnot, if I'm even using that term properly. You can get a grande, whatever. I just go and I say, I want a large. They're like, you want a venti? I said, is that a large? They're like, it's a venti. I'm like, can you show me the cups, please? And they go, that's a venti. I don't know,
that
whatever.
Fancy terminology with me.
That cup size is just fine. I'll take that. But if you just get a regular coffee with cream in it or sugar, whatever you put in it, it's about $4 easily. But if you start getting into the lattes with the flavorings and this and that, you can go anywhere from $6 to $8 depending on what you're getting, and style of drinks and stuff. It is, I might be pushing with the $8, but yeah, $5 to $6 is not unheard of coming out of Starbucks. It's very fancy specialty coffee. Not a big fan. I find it a bit. I like strong coffee. I find it bitter. To me, that is the difference.
Okay.
But I can drink it if I have to.
Well, welcome to the monologue of coffee. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. I'm just sat there thinking, are we still streaming or what? Is he just going on about coffee here? Or?
Oh, I can talk about coffee.
Yeah. Okay, Mark, do you have another story for us?
I don't know. We could put the coffee thing and the FAA together and forget it. We're done for the month. We're done for the month. No, I think I'm pretty good on news. There's a couple of stories that I'm not that crazy about, fond of, so we can pass on that.
Okay, I'll cover this last story then, if that's all right.
Okay.
And I'll switch over to this one. This is from metro.co.uk. Nearly mispronounced that for some reason. And that is ancient winged reptiles could be inspiration for new fleet of drones. Mark?
No, I'm just saying, I'm glad I didn't have any more news because I know you wanted to talk about this.
Yes. Yeah, there we go. Brant Ariel says, no, Steve, tea is steeped.
Oh, there you go.
You have to steep that bag. Right. Okay, now this is a topic that combines two passions of mine, one of them being drones, the other one being dinosaurs, strangely enough. So this is the picture here, a reconstruction of the giant pterosaur Hatzegopteryx launching, showing the first downstroke just after the forelimbs have left the ground. So this Hatzegopteryx here in the picture, the largest fossil of one of them that they've found, say when it walks it stands on its hind legs and its wings fold back and it can walk on like four legs, and
almost like walking on its elbows, maybe.
Yes,
like,
kind of, yeah.
Okay.
And essentially, when it's stood like that with its neck up, it's about the size of a giraffe. It's a big old reptile, this thing. So when engineers set out to create new machines, they tend to look forward rather than back. And even if they do look to past designs, chances are they won't go back over 200 million years for inspiration. However, learning more about pterosaurs, flying reptiles that lived among the dinosaurs, could help in designing more efficient drones, scientists have said. Paleontologists looking at fossils of the largest animals ever to fly believe the prehistoric creatures may hold the solutions to drone flight problems such as aerial stability and the ability to self-launch. Dr. Liz Martin Silverstone, a paleontologist at the University of Bristol and the first author of the review published in the journal Trends in Ecology and Evolution, said, "There's a lot of really cool stuff in the fossil record that goes unexplored because engineers generally don't look to paleontology when thinking about inspiration for flight. If we're only looking at modern animals for inspiration, we're really missing a large degree of the morphology out there and ignoring a lot of options that I think could be useful. While engineers are mostly focused on the physiology of modern birds and insects when designing drones and planes, Dr. Martin Silverstone believes pterosaur fossils that provide insight into the anatomy of their wings could hold the clues to designing more efficient aircraft. So most modern birds launch into the air through a leap or a jump, known as a ballistic launch, while the larger varieties require a running start to gain enough momentum for liftoff. But the paleontologists believe pterosaurs may have been able to launch themselves from a stationary position despite weighing more than 660 pounds, that's nearly 300 kilos, possibly due to the combined effort of the wing membrane and the robust muscle attachments in their wings. They hypothesised that the pterosaurs' unique wing structure allowed them to generate a high-powered leap off their elbows and wrists, giving them enough height to become airborne. Dr. Martin Silverstone said, "Today something like a drone requires a flat surface to launch and is quite restricted on how it actually gets into the air. The unique launch physiology of pterosaurs might be able to help solve some of these problems." So right here, this is a picture of the unusual winged dinosaur, Yi Kui, with a winged form of both a bat-like membrane and feathers. So this wasn't a pterosaur, this was actually a very small dinosaur, obviously hunting an insect in the picture. This is not a photograph, okay. It's just like a painted picture, it looks like. So pterosaurs can also provide insights on how to prevent flight instability once in the air, the researchers have said. Dr. Martin Silverstone added, so far we've struggled to design things like flight suits that can resist the pressures of flight. So if we can understand how pterosaurs did it, for instance, by understanding how their wing membrane was actually structured, then that's something we can use to answer modern engineering questions. Apart from pterosaurs, there were other prehistoric flies with a unique wing structure, such as Microraptor, which had feathered wings on both their arms and legs. And the recently discovered dinosaur Yi Kui had wings that combined feathers with a bat-like membrane. So this is all really interesting stuff, and I really like that. So I wanted to end with that one because, if we ended up running over the stream length, I can just talk about dinosaurs.
Well, actually, it's funny. It just dawned on me, and I think Dennis pointed it out. I had done a story a while ago, and one of the things that drones, they used a lot of their battery just to get off the ground and get that momentum going. And you remember a few weeks ago I did that story, and the word ballistic reminded me of the story I did, the one where it was an air cannon that launched the drone like a bullet, and then it unfolded and kept flying from there. They may have inadvertently been tapping into exactly what you're saying there about helping the drone overcome the initial gravity pull of the Earth in order to get it in the air and flying so it can conserve battery power. So it's kind of interesting that there is a connection between that and one of the stories we did about, I think it was like 4 or 5 weeks ago we did that one.
There we go. I'm just keeping up with the chat there.
No problem.
Yeah, White Rose Adventures says dino drones. Yes, indeed. Now, obviously, we see a lot of drones coming through, like experimental ones these days, like VTOL, like virtual takeoff and landing drones, where they are actually fixed wing, but the propellers can actually turn upwards, so they can pick up almost like the Osprey, the plane with the two propellers that can turn upwards to lift off and fly like a helicopter. But then when in the air, they tilt forwards, and then it becomes fixed wing, which is a lot more efficient than rotor blades, like a helicopter. Because obviously fixed wing, even if your motor's cut out, you have something called glide ratio. So you can actually just carry on. Depending on how high you are up, you can carry on for tens of miles without any engine power whatsoever, even in a jumbo jet. You know what
same thing with the Harrier
jets. You're talking 100 tons can still just glide for miles and miles, at a set. And every plane has like a recommended glide ratio for if the engine's cut out. Yeah. Exactly. Brant Ariel says Harrier drone. Yes, but the thing is, the problem with having a Harrier style drone, a Harrier used the jet engines. It was what was the type of jet? Oh, the Pegasus engine. That's what it was. A jet engine. What it had, it was inside the body of the plane, and it could actually it had vents along the side, and it could actually turn the jets downwards from the jet, and that's how it'd get the lift. But if I'm not wrong in thinking that the Harrier could only remain in position for up to about 2 minutes. It really did burn fuel trying to keep a jet plane, like a fighter jet, stationary in the air. And the problem is, the way it worked was it created a column of air underneath it. So if you had strong winds, you could actually have a wind that knocked the current of air out. And there's many videos online, just look up Harrier fails or something like that, and you see them hovering there, and then they just seem to drop out the sky with no engine failure. It's like the wind knocked that column of air out from underneath it, and they just drop. So, very temperamental aircraft, designed by the British and sold to the Americans. May I add? Right.
Maybe that's why it's made the transition the other direction. Who knows?
Yeah, the only country in the world now still using Harriers, I believe, is the US. Yeah, they use them in the US Navy, I believe, because they can launch from small carriers.
Right, makes sense.
So, yes, the Harrier is still a very relevant aircraft, apparently, for small aircraft carriers. But for that kind of thrust, you need a very powerful jet engine. I don't think you'd get.
And a
I
lot
know
of
you probably
fuel.
just said that as like a passing comment, but I just felt the need to explain how all that worked. You know what I mean? So there we go. I'm just looking there. Harrier than a feathered drone. I'm not
Harrier.
entirely sure what that means. If you'd like to elaborate, please feel free.
He's talking. They're using the term Harrier as a pun, talking about like hairy, like what you don't have on your head right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Like hairier than a feathered drone. Okay. Oh, we got there in the end, didn't we? Yeah.
Sorry, I had to
It's
explain
been a
that to
long
him,
day.
folks.
That's so cool. Yeah, okay. That's funny. But I find that very interesting because pterosaurs are very interesting creatures. They're not actually like dinosaurs at all. You know, they're a completely separate evolutionary line, and there's a whole load of them. There's the Hatzegopteryx, the Tropiogopterus, pterodactyls, pteranodons, dimorphodons, and many, many others. Oh, Tapijara. There's loads of them. I'm not going to sit here and list all the ones I can remember, but actually finding a way how they'd take off, because obviously a lot of birds, I mean, I live on the river, right? Not on the river, but along the river. And I watch the swans, and they literally like start flapping, and the run across the surface of the water while flapping to take off. The swans are real big things, but the pteranodons are believed to have just been able to just leap right into the sky. You know, so if you've got some method, like you say, like a grenade launcher that can launch like telescopic wings as it comes out, or like telescopic props come out the side. Yeah. Dennis Lovelady says all those prehistory creatures were fascinating, and it's fascinating that what we can deduce about them. Thanks for sharing that. Yes, I am fascinated with dinosaurs. Yes. Now, just an interesting fact before I end the stream. Obviously, everybody slams Jurassic Park, right? Because none of the dinosaurs in them films have feathers, right? But it's believed that the Velociraptor had feathers. There's loads of variations of the Velociraptor. In Jurassic Park, the Velociraptor is, in the original books, it wasn't called the Velociraptor, it was called the Deinonychus, which is actually more the size of what the Velociraptors are in the films. A real Velociraptor was about the size of like a big chicken, right? But they believe that the name Deinonychus wasn't as cool as Velociraptor. It does sound a lot more menacing. But it is believed that Velociraptors, Deinonychus, Utah raptors, and all them variations of raptors all had feathers. It's now believed the T-Rex had feathers, and a whole load of other, like especially the two-legged carnivores, all had feathers. But the redeeming quality, which can sort of like be deduced from that, is that obviously the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park were clones with like other creatures' DNA mixed in, and according to actual Jurassic Park lore, canon, part of the storyline, they hadn't actually figured out how to get the dinosaurs to have feathers. Did you know that?
No.
No. Okay. That was a long-winded explanation. It was.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you, Hen. Just saying.
Yes, okay. Yes, Hen, remember, your ancient ancestors were talking about them here. Yeah. It is believed that like modern day birds did come from an evolutionary line of either the tyrannosaurs or the velociraptors. It is believed. Did you know that?
No.
Yes.
I never really studied dinosaurs before. I had a fascination for them when I was younger, but I haven't kept up with it. And I know that the philosophies have changed since then, or theories, I should
Shrimp
say.
Shack says it's a nice channel here. Thank you very much. After this stream, I'm going to seek you out, mate, because I tried looking for you. Before the stream started, you was already in. I'm going to look for you, mate, but I couldn't quite find your channel, but I will find you. Brant Ariel says, wait, what? Jurassic Park was a documentary? No, no, you know what I mean, don't you? No, it's a Hollywood blockbuster, right? And me and my missus still watch the Jurassic Park films, and the CGI in that they still hold
No,
up
they're
to this
good. Yeah,
day.
they're good. Yeah, they're very
1993,
good.
and it's got better CGI than most films have today.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
did they manage that? Really,
Well, I
you
mean,
know?
same with Star Wars. I mean, it did the original, even though it wasn't CGI, the special effects there still does. It still holds its own, I think, to today's
Well, no,
CGI.
the thing is, we are going into general chat territory here, but
Yeah, yeah,
if you watch Star Wars now,
yeah.
you're watching a remastered version with
Oh, that's
CGI,
true.
with modern CGI added in.
Oh, with it added in, yes, that's true.
Yes,
That
so
is
you're
true.
not watching the original version. There's actually a project online called Star Wars. What is it? Star Wars Demastered or something like that. No, Star Wars Despecialized, where from all the different versions of the film, they've never released the original films as there was as when they first came out in the cinema. You know, without all the modern bells and whistles, I've never released them. It's always some special edition with CGI, filters, new edits, things like that, right? And the thing is, that's the thing. Now there's a team of people trying to create a despecialized edition with no special effects, none of the new stuff, exactly as it was. And I've actually got a version of that. I'm not going to be playing it on stream, of course, right? But it's like a fan project to despecialize it. And my goodness, it looks very different. So I'm willing to bet that the special effects you've seen are not from the late 70s and early
Right.
80s, trust me. Right? Them special
Lately.
effects are very different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ralph Morick says most in Jurassic Park was animatronics, not CGI. Yes, I've watched numerous documentaries on Jurassic Park, and that T-Rex that they had in Jurassic Park, a lot of that was just pure animatronics as well. Unless you see it fully in shot, then it is CGI, but the close-up shots, they had a
Right.
full dinosaur. And the thing was, that T-Rex was so heavy that they didn't actually transport the T-Rex around. They moved the entire sets to the T-Rex. It was that
Oh,
heavy.
jeez.
Yeah. You know, and for Jurassic Park 2 and 3, they did the same things. You know, any close-ups and that, they'd move the sets to the big animatronics because it was easier to do that than actually move the actual monster itself, you know. And on that note, I think it's about time to wrap up, don't you, Mike?
Sounds good to me.
Yes. We have gone a little bit over tonight. We usually try and stick to 1 hour, just while
Yeah.
everyone's still here.
It's okay.
Please remember, this Saturday, awesome interview stream coming up with Drone UK. That's on Mark's channel. You know, is linked down below. Is right down there. And I'll get closer to the bottom of the screen. Oh, now I won't. But it's linked down below anyway. 5 p.m. Eastern time, 10 p.m. UK time. Going to be interviewing Drone UK. So go subscribe to Mark's channel, please. We'll see you Saturday night. Awesome. I've had a great stream tonight, Mark.
Yeah. Yes, and are we going to send anybody to another live stream?
Do you have anyone in mind?
Yes, I do.
Who is it?
He didn't come in tonight because I think he was streaming live himself. Rattletrap's on.
I know. That's who I was going to suggest.
Rattletrap is
Yeah.
on. So let
I
me
was like,
put the
go on,
link
say
in
it,
the chat.
say it. It's going to be Rattletrap. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. Please put the link in
Oh,
there for us, Mark.
I gotta get rid of
like
that
I
one.
say, tonight it's been awesome. We always have a good laugh on streams anyway.
Yes, we do.
And,
Yes,
you know,
we do.
some people have been here all stream, and we thank you very much for that. People who've come in later on. I've had an awesome time, Mark. What about
Oh,
you?
it's been a blast. It's been an
Yes.
absolute blast. So here's the link, and you can type in whatever you want them to put in, Steve, for a tag for the raid. And he's a good supporter of us. So please, folks, even if it's for a few seconds, go on, take the tag that Steve's going to put in the chat. Go say hello to Rattletrap. He's a good guy. Curtis, great guy. He's I've been on his panels before. Very big supporter. Very, very good supporter of ours. And if you just go and say hi to him, say, whatever
Please.
Steve suggests, there you go. Aerial rated Rattletrap live streams, please. Yep. So just aerial raid, and we'll head over there and we'll meet you there, folks. And on behalf of myself, thank you so much again for coming in. I had a blast.
Yes, thank you everybody, and we'll catch you all Saturday night on Mark's channel, 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. UK.
Yes.
Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you very much.
It's really made my night tonight. I've really enjoyed it. And sorry we've gone off on general chat talking about Jurassic Park and dinosaurs and all other stuff and coffee, Mark. Right?
Yeah.
we'll catch you all really soon. Have a good time. Stay safe. Stay hygienic. All that lot. And we'll catch you all again real soon. Thank you, everybody. Farewell.
Take care, everybody. Have a good night.